Well, hello there to my Libras. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Let's get into it. Reading is for the 9th through the 16th of July. So the moon is still in Sagittarius, and although these readings are timeless, you can watch them at any time. It's good to know like what phase we're in, what you could be doing during that phase to keep your vibrations high, and very positive and being enlightened, right? So I do have some information on my YouTube shorts and on TikTok for retrograde and then rituals, moon rituals on the light side. You don't practice dark moon magic over here. So it's enlightening you, keeping you enlightened. So keep your vibrations high. Keep your vibrations high. Your polarity sign is Aries, but your sign rules seventh house. Seventh house is about traditionally denotes marriage and partnerships, but also the idea of open enemies, quarrels, and disputes. It is a house of contractual partnerships, but also litigation. A deeper look reveals the interesting links between these things, right? So you know how you first enter into a friendship or relationship with somebody and they end up being an enemy. Find on the back and they stabbed you in the back or you had their back. Right? My community wants me to thrive. Any community that you're in that does not want you to thrive is not your community. That includes your family. So you're breaking some kind of generational cycle, chain, and curse. That includes your family. You're breaking some kind of family curse where people are, don't want people to thrive in the family. You're the one that's going to balance it out. You're the one that's going to balance it out. So let's get into it. All that people, people who are vain, vengeful, green with envy, sneaking, doing stuff behind people's back, taking people to court, joining up with other people's families, doing stuff behind people's back. You about to break a generational cycle, chain, and curse. About to out everybody. In other words, you about to speak on it because your energy is directed outward and you're an air sign. And so for you, that throws you out of harmony and it throws you out of peace when you see that happening in your own family. So yeah, trying to make somebody look like a fool, doing an injustice somebody to behind people's back, making them look like a fool because they march to the beat of their own drum. Something about you that does not sit well with you at all when you see families doing it to their own family members, because you're making a connection. It doesn't matter whether you're black, white, whatever your religion is. Something about that for Libra does not sit right because it throws you so out of balance. It's just like anybody who who does something different in certain people's families, these are a bunch of haters. So something's being done behind an Aquarius's back. Yeah, yeah, trying to because somebody is down to earth and relatable, and so and somebody has psychic gifts, and something is disappointing. They're trying to create some kind of a nightmare behind someone's back who has already been through enough heartbreak and deeply disappointment, who's already talked about those things. These energies are trying to pull somebody back into something. But this is like pull somebody back into a death, right? They're trying to put a sheet over a mirror. This is what these energies are trying to do, basically like saying, okay, we need to put an end to something. We need to put an end to this because this is foolishness, right? This is foolishness. This is bringing dishonor to the family. We need to put an end to this. But someone is truly a humanitarian and some kind of injustice has been done to someone in a family and they've moved on. They're so sick and tired of the shade and they have moved on. And so somebody is trying to restrict that, right? Yep. So here we have the Ace of Cups here. They are just as down to earth and as relatable as anybody else, right? And it's happening. So these energies created something, right? These energies created something, right? So I was just saying to you, yeah, here we have it's the Justice card. So now it's time to you to if to find out what the injustices were done, like how families you could have family members' backs. Is this what you have in common? You could have family members' backs. You could be there for them. Where every time they need help, you go racing to their aid like you got a motorcycle. Literally, you go racing to their aid, and they can still end up breaking your heart behind your back. lying on you behind your back, doing the whole 9 yards. So they feel like something is their way to highway. There's an Aries involved in something. Somebody feels like they like to play games with family. There's an Aries who likes to play games with families, who did something behind someone's back. Yeah, but the will is to come back around. Something was fated to happen. In other words, the same thing that they wanted for somebody else, where everybody was sitting around acting like they was lost and confused because they feel like it was not their family, is now you're seeing it in real time. This coming back around to the karma is coming back around to somebody, to an Aries who tried to make somebody look like a complete fool. So something now is overwhelming. Something now is overwhelming. Two people went to court and did something behind somebody's back to make them look like they were feeble-minded or like a fool, like they had run away from something. But they did it behind their back, and they told somebody who it broke their heart, cracked their heart to a point where they just wanted to run away. It was just a complete nightmare. Told somebody was going to jail, somebody was, they need to be institutionalized or something. Just craziness. They thought they had gotten away with something. They didn't get away with nothing. Now people are wishing they had just paid attention and just walked away. They was like, what was going on in my life that I was so distracted that I couldn't even just walk away from that nonsense and just open up my mouth and ask questions. So source is saying a lot of people are waking up to this kind of a spirit in everybody's family, where everybody is dealing with the same type of spirits in their family, when they have to deal with people who, when they want something their way or the highway, and they want people to be in relationship. This is your card right here. You've had their back 10 toes down, right? Every single time they was there, they needed you. You was right there, had their back. But as soon as you said no, they got vindictive and evil. Source is saying to you, listen, you are not a fool. Get yourself together and put a manhole cover over the past. It's time to it's time to say, nope. Emotionally, I'm not in something. I'm putting somebody lives across the water from you. Source is saying to you, it's time to put an end to something. There's some kind of generational cycle chain or curse that you're breaking, as far as this energy who likes to keep people in competition. It literally is like a parent who likes to keep it's like having a narcissistic parent who likes to keep their kids at war with each other. But the war never ends. It goes from generation to generation to generation to generation. The kids are at war, then the grandkids are at war. It's like sitting there just blowing smoke, just keeping a bunch of chaos and confusion going, while they just sit there like they just down. Oh, well, that's just how family is. People they'll deal with it amongst themselves, when they were the one that just lit the flame. So it's saying, while sacrificing people. Something is just overwhelming. Something is just overwhelming. Too many ancestors are starting to come back. And when I say ancestors, I'm not saying something spooky or weird. I mean, like, people are just starting to wake up and to remember, like, just that type of a spirit. Like, every single time, it's like it comes around in every generation. As soon as people start believing in their dreams and all the sacrifices that were made, and there's always got to be that one, maybe two family members that's always keeping some mess going, because they feel like they didn't live out their dreams. So they got to just keep some mess going. They're not operating in their purpose. And you'll know you're operating in your purpose if you pull your birth chart, your North Node 10th house. This is not what everybody else believes your purpose is. This is what Source says your calling is. There's a difference. You can be a person that have all of these gifts and talents, but Source could say, well, this is your purpose, right? Remember, your 10th house is your career and vocation, right? And vocation, right? Your true calling, your North Node, your true calling, and those other things that you believe in. So that means that you could be literally, you could be a musician, you could be a singer, you could be a painter, all of this. You could be all of it. You can have 7 different gifts. But the moment you get a calling, the moment you answer the call, this number 7 is where Source is like making things. And so it's like, okay, you need to get away from the things. I didn't call you to do those things. All of those were experiences. Those are things that, yeah, you're gifted in all of those things, right? But you're being called to something. I need to pull you away from the pack of people. The same group of people will call you a snake. You're having some kind of an awakening, right? And so now somebody is now starting to realize the duality of things. You've been called from the inside, from source. Somebody is a prayer warrior. So somebody is now learning that, you know what, as a prayer warrior, I'm starting to wake up and to remember some things, and I'm running with the wrong pack. I need to enlighten people on how to pray for real. You can pray by yourself or you can pray with a group of energy, but I'm enlightening people on how to pray. I need to get up out of some dark magic mess. Here we had a Queen of Cups here. I need to come up out of that dark magic mess. I need to put a manhole cover over some stuff and start praying for some people, because some people have in it. I'm telling y'all, this is like having a narcissistic parent who intentionally keeps their kids apart from each other because they like all of the attention on them, and they don't care who they're using. They don't care who they are using. They'll hang anybody out to dry, the kids, grandkids, whomever. And so Source is saying somebody is waking up. It shouldn't have to hit your front door. It's your kids or grandkids before you see, okay, it's hitting your sister or brother's kids or your this person's kids or that person's kids. That it shouldn't, a bell should have been gone off. But Source is saying it's time to wake up. Too many sacrifices are being made, and these energies go right on back to celebrating like nothing ever happened, being shady and going right on back to like something never happened. Behind people's parents' back, they wouldn't dare do that to a child and in front of a parent's face. It all hell would break loose for real, and that's for real. That's why they always stay doing stuff behind people's back. So it's like, nah, it would not happen in front of somebody's face. They create all this mess behind someone's back because they know somebody is very clear-headed. So they pull other people into this. And now people are saying, I wish I had just walked away and just at least opened up my mouth and showed some kind, all this fake compassion. Now people are like, oh God, I wish I had just opened up my mouth. They were doing this to two energies. That's why they were keeping these energies apart. Yes. Make the connection. Bullies. Make the connection. This is happening in everybody's family. Literally, it's happening in everybody's family. So if people are blinded by race and color, skin color, and all of this other stuff, and communities, and I don't belong to that community, I don't know nothing about that community. Get educated. This is the human race. So it's saying it's happening in every. So when the stories come out and they seem like, okay, this person, moved on. Well, that sounds odd. Let me go into prayer. Why in the world would somebody leave somebody behind brokenhearted? And somebody sitting, well, I don't know, they've always been like this. What? Don't that connect to an aunt or uncle or somebody in your family? Like somebody is starting to make the connections like, okay, you know what? I got one in my family just like that. Just like that. All they do is sit there and act in the pretend world. Like everything is just, well, they don't know what's going on. Okay, that's usually the one. Queen of Swords, sitting there fanning the flame. Well, pronouncing words all extra proper, adding letters that don't belong in words. Child, a mess. So sources, so sources saying to you, don't be boo-boo the fool and not make a connection because you're sitting there like, okay, these energies do like keeping people apart from each other. These are supposed to be family members, loved ones, talking about because we doing this just because we love somebody. Because they don't want something that they did in the dark to be uncovered. That's why. Because when you connect with people, you gain some kind of clarity, not for the purpose of gossiping, right? This is the purpose of somebody saying, okay, you know what? Some of these energies don't even know the true word. They don't even know the true meaning of gossip. To share the gospel, right? So something has been fulfilled. You already feel fulfilled. You're like, you know what? I need to go ahead and put a manhole cover over something. I need to stop doing something and learn how to send dark magic, dark spell work back. I don't want to get associated with this foolishness of that people are doing behind people's backs, trying to get people institutionalized, saying some people in some kind of sex industry, and then they're going to turn around and go and just, worship like nothing. I mean, just shady, 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 shady. Yep, Knight of Swords energy. So Source is saying somebody need to get focused real fast. Focus real fast. It's full. We're already in the full moon phase, but yeah, constantly they stay doing stuff behind people's back to try to keep people restricted because they really want people dead. I mean, for real, like out of here. When I say dead, I mean not always in a physical sense, but like they want people silenced, being quiet. It's like, oh my God, this person is creating a nightmare for us. They keep on talking, and people are starting to pay attention and listening. And numbers are increasing. Oh my God, what are they saying? Telling the truth. Because this one right here want to be held in such high honor, high regard, and high honor, but at, like I said, partnering with people, going to court, doing stuff behind people's backs. Ace of Swords, you'll be cutting some energies off. Yep, you'll be staying focused and cutting some energies off. Something about you have a lot of ancestors around you, but something about somebody who rode a motorcycle is keeping everybody focused. It's keeping everybody focused about this madness that's going on in a lot of people's families. It's usually the ones who like to get into like fast stuff, like fast cars, fast whatever. They may have met some kind of quick, unfortunate end that's just like has awakened, brought everybody together. That's kind of showing people like you need to get us away from it as fast as the wind. As fast as the wind. These energies are overwhelming people. They're doing all kinds of stuff, joining, doing stuff behind people's backs, just doing the works, and then sitting there like nothing ever happened. Here's a 9 of Wands, and that's why some people don't come back. That's the reason why some people don't come back. Looking at your cards here, I see that you're freeing yourself from something, and I do see you'll be celebrating something else because your interests have changed. Meaning you're either celebrating a new love, a home, something you're celebrating. But something will make you want to not even go back to that dark place. It'll make you not even want to go back to that because it's really not for the weak, for real. It's really, really not to enlighten people about the darkness that goes on in the world. It's really not. Everybody can't stomach it. Here's the 4 of Swords here. So I feel like you'll be getting some rest. Yeah. Yeah, because these energies are bullies. They are. They really, really are. And they like to project and say everybody else is a bully. But they really are bullies. 6 of Swords. Yeah. So you are, and this is why people cut people off and they just stay behind closed doors, not out of fear, so they can get in technology, just innovatively behind closed doors. Some people, they just behind closed doors, they get the word out to the world. This is where right here, the world, with technology. On the World Wide Web, they get the message out because they've answered a call on their lives. And these energies out here who are these bullies, they like to project that kind of image onto people. Oh, they just a bully. We need to stop this. This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. As if they didn't cause a nightmare in people's lives. Here we had the 10 of Cups here. So something is ending. So it's just putting you around a group of energies where I'm looking at your cards here. You will feel inner happiness. Something is going to feel like total love and support for you. That's what I'm saying. For somebody, you won't want to go back. You won't even be inspired being around energies who say they love people, right? But all you feel are swords in the back. Taking people. These are loved ones who like to just they pile up in court. They can't. It's like they dress up to go to court. Like the average person would get like jitters in their stomach to even step in the courtroom because all heck breaks loose in courthouses. These energies like to go to court. They can't wait. They getting dressed up, cologne down, makeup done, hair done, all of this to go to court like they going to a concert because for them this is drama. It's just a bunch of drama. You would think they worked at the courthouse. Some of them, 9 of Swords, just nightmares. Love to keep stuff going. Love it. And calling everybody else a nightmare. So this is what I'm saying. You breaking some kind of generational cycle chain and curse. You don't even want to be a part of the drama. Whoever you are, unless you work in the legal system, you don't even want to be a part of it. Yeah, here's the intuition right here. Each person's road to the inner Lord is extraordinary and personal. How liberating to listen inside and sense moment to moment what's needed. Yeah. Yeah, somebody actually has a heart, but these energies, like their heart has been just cut out. They just heartless. They just do anything. It involves going to court, suing somebody, doing it. It's just, it's looking like, hey, they can't wait. Pedals on the metal, like they just as fast as this person run into a motorcycle, that's as fast as they run to a courthouse. They can't wait. So clear your energy field. Yeah, clear your energy field. So source is saying to you, you understand, like, that people don't get away with anything. People don't get away with anything. And some people really are, whoever this is, could be really remorseful, like trying to put the past behind them, whoever this energy is. It may have brought out a prayer warrior in them, but somebody is real, like, all realizing in terms of like loved ones and stuff like that. There's so much pain around this. That's where, so somebody has a unique gift of praying, you know, um, being a prayer warrior, and people pray whether they pray publicly or they pray, like a intercessory prayer in private. But yeah, here we have inspiration and creativity. Somebody also may like to paint as well. But yeah, so while these energies like to paint one picture, you're saying, okay, you're painting another picture. Like you have a in the high vibrational, way, very positive, high vibrational way. But a lot of people have this in common. All this air, you got a lot of ancestors around you, a lot of them that's helping you to learn how to just move on from all this chaos and confusion. All right. So last card, number 10, I'm ingenious. You have great leadership skills. Your mind is sharp. It allows you to dream up ingenious ideas and organize all the details, then direct others how to carry things out. Yeah. Yeah. Try to put something to an end. Trying to put something to an end. Yeah. Yeah, but you're clearing your energy field here. And you feel fulfilled already in some way, shape, form, or fashion, but um, hmm yeah, there is a emperor energy who, like I said, mm, something for them about going to court and stabbing loved ones in the back is just exciting. I never seen nothing like it, for real. I mean, something about them, it's like they just want to be a part of something. That's just mm. So energetic clearing during the crisis, the Holy One herself may be emptying you of fear and attachments, preparing you to receive her luminous plan. Yeah. Yeah, something about the 10th house, the North Node. It's like as soon as somebody is on their way to their career or vocation, they start believing in their dreams and, anything about, the sacrifices or, talk about, especially if they talk about like, the family has made a lot of sacrifices and people start bragging about the family, but speaking people in the high vibrational, oh, the family's made sacrifices and they've done this and that. Somehow this energy wants to be the first name mentioned. They want to be first. They want to be the first name. They have a God complex. Somebody wants to be the first person mentioned in everything. And if they're not the first one, it's like they hold on to this vendetta for the rest of their life. Who can I pair up with that could stab them in the back with a sword? Not a knife, a butter knife, a sword. Anybody, organization, anything to bring a tower. It's sad. It's really, really sad. So that's what I'm saying here for you and your cards. But you're breaking some kind of generational cycle chain and curse with you know, with your gifts here and putting an end to something. You are just going to put an end to something. You're putting an end to some foolishness. You're doing something behind someone's back that's going to just going to clear the energy field because you're picking up on some your intuition, energetic clearing. You're just doing. Somebody's going to be just cleaning house. That's all I can say. Somebody's tired of all of the sacrificing and the people stabbing people in the back and somebody getting all excited. It's almost, like I'm kind of hearing almost like somebody's like, oh, when is the court date? I'm gonna make sure it's like they got their book. And I'm gonna write this down. Okay, so what's the address? What's the location? Like that's big for somebody. What's the location? So I can be there at such and such time and such and such. And what do you need me to say? They don't care if it's a lie, a truth. They don't care. They just don't. I mean, as long as the light is on them, they just shady. I mean, Lord have mercy. But anyway, your 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 motivation has changed significantly, and it's something you're definitely not going back to. You're just like, mm-mm. Your motivation has definitely just changed. Yeah, it has changed. Yeah. So that is what I have for you. Um, and I will see you all in the next video. See you in the next video. But yeah, two energies here. Like I said, it looks like, yeah. This is an interesting reading though, because this is why somebody's prayer is about to increase, because I'm looking at this water here, right? And I'm also looking at a competitive spirit here who there's a karmic couple involved in something behind someone's back. It's a couple, karmic couple who played some kind of role in keeping people apart. So on the surface, it could look like whatever someone is writing or communicating is like they stabbing their own family in the back, right? That's what this looks like, right? But Source is saying to you, because you're a fair-minded energy, you're about to go into prayer mode yourself, just you and Source, because you need to see something clearly. Like you really need to. This is why we talk about the sage right here, and you're clearing something. Um, so any other kind of smoking of anything else is going to end. Somebody is clearing the energy with sage. Um, and coming up with some kind of ingenious idea, because somebody has a this is a yeah, somebody has a parent who is trying to keep something a secret. This is a parent who's trying to keep something a secret. This is why they create this right here, and this is the secret. This is why they try to make one look like it's dark, one look like it's light. But in the middle, there's a secret here, and there's a very overwhelming secret here, right? Of sacrifice. And so on the surface, it looks like people talking about people behind their family's back, right? And that could have been a turn off for somebody like, okay, I just like peace and harmony and I just want my community to thrive and all this. And you got somebody sitting on the throne. It's like, oh yeah, well, just let it work itself out. Everything will be exposed in time. But so it's like, no, no, because something is going to be exposed sooner than that. The truth about something is coming out, about this younger person, is coming out. Yeah, because the light is already shining on it. So the sun exposes the moon, right? It lights up the moon, it illuminates the moon, right? So something has already spoken. In other words, somebody has already spoken. The two energies, what's interesting is that whoever the two energies that were separated are basically saying the same thing, that something is generational. These sacrifices are generational within a family. So when people are looking on the outside, judging from the outside, and they don't really know what's going on, it's like two people are saying the same thing, maybe in two separate spaces, but they're saying the same thing. And they may not even know they're saying the same thing in two separate spaces. Something is generational. So get some rest. Yeah, somebody is smoking It's not sage, and it's not a regular cigarette you get from the store either. They smoking something. Anyway, here we have the King of Wands here. But yeah, somebody is cloaked in somebody else's skin. Somebody, but they're scared. They're basically asking for help. Somebody is saying, they're coming off as they're someone else, like like they're this strong man or this person who, people got their back, but they're really afraid because they're in survival mode, right? And they carry the smell of fear, on them. That is a real smell, a smell of fear. They have the smell of fear on them because they're in someone else's skin, meaning like somebody put the fear of God in them, in other words. So, but another energy, yeah, knows that God is within them and they're not operating in fear at all. So they like for real, bring it on, whoever and whatever. That's the energy that they on. And that's not a threat to anybody, but they really are not operating in fear. They're cool, calm, and collected. When they come in with paperwork, they come in with proof of something. They don't need a whole gang of people in court. They don't need it. They got paperwork. They just lay it out on the table. Bam, bam, bam. One sheet after the other. Bam, pictures, this, paperwork, that. They don't need nobody to say nothing for them. That is why they can move on. That is why they can move on. Because a light has been shining on something. Yep. So here we have the Empress card. Rebirth is happening. These energies been doing something behind people's backs for a long time. And so somebody is tired of carrying family members on their back and causing them to emotionally eat, gain weight, all this other stuff. That's where the emotions come from. Yeah. So, mhm. So you have a whole world of opportunities coming. Your inspiration is about to change in terms of just your confidence level increasing. When you felt like you needed to have your back before, not anymore. Your confidence level in God is about to change. Like you about to say, you know what? I know when I'm answering a call in my life, it's a whole nother spirit that takes over. You don't operate in the spirit of fear. You don't. People gonna think you being arrogant, but it's not. It's really like, okay, hold on. I'm operating in a spirit of faith. And you're getting all the signs all around you through meditation, instincts, and messages from the inner divine. These energies have watched somebody sit down and meditate, like, you know, taking pictures, recording stuff. I mean, just craziness, pure craziness. Anything to get familiar with somebody moving into, if they move into an apartment or in a condo or a house, they descend like vultures onto around people's homes. This kind of stuff just is just stalk, like just craziness. Like I said, but if you're operating in purpose, you don't care. Here we have relax. Your enemy's plan backfired. Yeah, so wealth is within your reach. Be patient. The answers are coming. Somebody misses you. Should you double back for them? It's time to expand your brand. Somebody wants the best for you. Your laughter is medicine. Yep. Somebody secretly has a crush on you. You can keep all the secrets to the left. Here we have, you have a gift of precognition. This is foreknowledge. Yeah. So source lets you know ahead of time what's coming, almost to a point where you may think that is it a dream? Is this for real? Like somebody lets you know ahead of time what's trying to come down the pike, like what's being done behind your back. So that could be anything. And a lot of people they can't believe it. They cannot believe, how could you be in front of stuff when when they feel like you physically moved on? How could you be in front of it? That's a gift. That's precognition. You have foreknowledge of something. Third eye chakra cleanse. So whatever your psychic gift is, so it's like it's time to sharpen it because it's harvest time. It really is harvest time. A lot of people are out here helping people, helping to keep people enlightened about how to do things. You're in your own lane, your own path, whoever you're on. You don't have any competition. Nobody has any competition. Yeah, companionship. Giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. Somebody does have love coming across their path, and somebody has been trying to keep you away from love. This is somebody you could have been in a relationship with. You could have gone through a divorce with somebody. You could have had a baby with somebody. They have been trying to keep you away from love. But you remember everything they did. And this is what you have in common with somebody. You remember every single thing they did to you to hurt you when you had their backs. And this is what you have in common with somebody else. You have so much in common with somebody, it's not even funny. It's really not even funny. The way that somebody came at you in court, if you whoever you could have had kids with, the way they came at you in court, where you would have thought that this was the person it's like a hate came out of them, like a demon came out of them, because it did. It's like everything from their childhood where they felt like somebody did them wrong came out on you in court, whoever you are. If you have kids with them, it came out on you and your child in court. Like you thinking as yourself, you would do this to you, somebody that you procreated with, and your child. Yes, because they've been carrying something around for them for so long. So it's just saying to you, they could not wait to take it out on somebody that they felt was in a very vulnerable position. Could y'all even imagine somebody attacking somebody who is pregnant for real? Like this is the kind of energy this is. Anybody who's going through any kind of a rebirth, anything where it's in a vulnerable state that would put somebody, that would weaken somebody, somebody is dealing with you're dealing with an entity. That's all I can say. This is an entity. So keep your vibrations high. But a lot of people have survived it. They have moved on with their lives. They have moved on from nightmares, broken heart. They've learned how to heal and stay focused. These energies keep trying to bring these energies back into some stuff. And so something about your calling in life is putting an end to it. Whatever it is that you do for whatever you do is putting an end to it. So everybody's playing their role, in the universe. Yeah, Seven of Cups here. You're putting an end to this. You're putting it in. That's how you're keeping your vibrations high. But it's exposing a lot of stuff, something around love and something around money, of how these organizations, they come into stuff and you would think, when you move on, their thrill, their happiness is when you're hurt. But they couldn't take the same stuff that you went through, but let them see you happy and smiling in a good space. They somewhere stabbing a cake, child. Like like in the movie Thin Line Between Love and Hate. But as soon as somebody break your heart or something happens, they can't wait to be smiling on social media. They can't wait to be calling people up. Oh, I knew it wasn't going to work out. I knew it wasn't going to last. Just miserable. Absolutely miserable. Child, they need a life. They need to be in their North Node for real. Because God gave them a purpose too. That's all you can do is pray for these type of energy. For real, that's all you can do, but stay as far away from them as possible. So if somebody has a secret crush on you, you're not interested in secrets. Just had you known this secret about an ex that you could have had kids with, you would have run. I'm talking about like run like Forrest Gump into them, you know, braces came off your legs. You would have just hauled, you would have hauled tail as far as you fast as you could, away from them, because their energy, whoever is in, you got as far away from them as possible, child. But they being exposed on social media, I'm telling y'all. But that's why so many people. There's not a lot of people. Well, I can't say everybody. A lot of people do not idolize celebrities, but a lot of people, they will look at celebrities' lives and go, "Gosh, they regular people. They put their pants on just like everybody else." Because a lot of people can connect with it. So anybody on their way to their North Node has had to deal with the same mess. Whether you got 5 followers or 5 million followers, it does not matter. Had to deal with the same exact mess. That is why in certain communities, people are just keeping it high vibrate. They being realistic and shining a light on some things, but dark magic, absolutely not. Don't even practice it. If you know about it, enlighten people. Like they into that dark stuff, get as far away from them. Because if they doing it to other people, they'll do it to you. That's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. I'll see you all in the next video.